These four, Chrissy, Fred, Patrick, and Max, are the four horsemen of Stranger Things to bring about the destruction, the apocalypse of the world. And if we're going by the biblical apocalypse, then we're looking at famine, death, pestilence, and Max being war. Let's take a look. Now we know that the biblical horsemen are pestilence, war, famine, and death. In Revelation 6, verses 1 all the way to the end of verse 6, we're looking at the four horsemen of the apocalypse that will lead to the biblical Armageddon. But in Stranger Things 4, Vecna first eliminates famine. Chrissy, wake up! I don't like this! Behold, a black horse, and the rider had a pair of scales in his hand. One of the four living creatures says, a quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, and do not harm the oil and wine. This symbolizes a worldwide famine. Chrissy was depressed and had an eating disorder. We see this in the very first episode of season 4. Now let's move on to Fred, death. In verse 7, the fourth seal was opened, and behold, a pale horse, and its rider was named Death, and Hades followed him. They were given over a fourth of the earth to kill with the sword, and with famine, and with pestilence, and by wild beasts of the earth. And why is Fred death? Because Fred had guilt over a fatal car crash that he had caused. Fred caused that car crash. Now Patrick's is tricky because we have no idea what Patrick's backstory was. And really, I got pestilence kind of out of a process of elimination. But most importantly, we have war, and you know why. The battle between Vecna and 11. All the concepts. Vecna sending his Demigorgon. Vecna sending his Demidog. Vecna sending his Mind Flayer. Vecna sending his monster. Vecna sending his Mind Flayer physical form. Sending his whole army to steal 11's power. When two armies meet, that's a war. And what does Vecna want to do in this world? What does the Upside Down do? And they were given the authority over a fourth of the earth to kill with sword, and with famine, and with pestilence, and by wild beasts of the earth. But these are the wild beasts of the Upside Down. So the apocalypse is here in Hawkins. And these are the horsemen. Like and follow for more of this content.